Kyle and I are going to answer the number one question that we have been asked like over and over again since we first started YouTube 8 years ago. But the answer is going to make you very uncomfortable. It's going to be too uncomfortable for you to handle, and you're probably not going to want to hear it. And the reason we know this is because it made us very uncomfortable when we first heard it too.
And the reason we can't answer it over and over again in a comment is because it's a little deeper than most, quick answer questions. So we're going to do it today.
Yes. So the question is, if I'm eating in a calorie deficit to lose weight and I've eaten all my calories for the day or all my food for the day and I'm still hungry, what do I do? And there are two parts to this question, there are two parts to the answer to this question. There's a surface level part, which we've covered in many videos, like really thoroughly talked about, balance, choosing mostly like low cal, high volume food.
Got lots of videos on that.
Tons.
How to show you how to use your calories within whatever you figure out your amount, which we just did a video on.
Yes.
And we show you how to maximize the volume within those calories in lots of videos.
Exactly. And we also give you tips on what to do in between meals when you're hungry, like lots of stuff like that. We've covered the surface part of it really thoroughly. So what we're gonna address in this video is the deeper part, the part that you're not gonna like, the deeper part of the answer.
And this is like, if I were to give an analogy, it's like trying to fix a house with a broken foundation, but all you ever fix is the roof. All you ever fix is do new paint. All you ever fix is the countertops, but the foundation is completely cracked or missing, and that's what we're going to address today.
Right. So the first piece of this is that it is normal to be hungry when you're eating in a calorie deficit because you are eating less than you're used to. And the uncomfortable piece of this is that you're gonna have to learn how to sit with being hungry. And it's not comfortable to sit with being hungry, and it's not comfortable to hear that you have to sit with it.
One more thing to address the physical part. And we're not talking about starving hungry. We're talking about feeling hunger pangs. Just feeling hungry, which we get asked all the time. What do you do if you're still hungry? Dealing with the physical part, if your body's getting hunger pangs, if you're feeling hungry, a normal amount of hungry, not absolutely ravenous, it means you're burning fat. So one thing you have to ask yourself is like, what's wrong with being hungry?
Yes.
Like, I set out to lose weight. I want to burn body fat. If you're hungry, it's your body telling you the vehicle is burning fat.
Yeah, it's like you're actually on the right track. And yes, there is a difference. There's a difference between being normal hungry, like you're eating less, that means you're burning fat, like Kyle said, and that's a normal thing. And you are going to have to learn how to be okay with that, feeling hungry when you're trying to lose weight.
Me and Nicole kind of flipped it in our head where before we had this problem, like we would get so nervous or so anxious being hungry, just on the physical side first, but we kind of flip it now where we're like, oh yeah, finally the vehicle's burning fat, which is what we intended to do in a diet.
Yes, you can actually look at it that way. And like we said, we've got tons of videos on like what to do. Like you have to look at your diet. If you're like really hungry to the point where you can't function, there's probably something off with your diet. And we have lots of videos on how to do that and look at that. But the deeper pieces, it can be very uncomfortable to sit with, especially like Kyle and I have lost 130 pounds each and we've kept it off for 8 years. And aside from struggling with our weight most of our lives, we also had serious struggles with emotional eating. And the deeper piece of the being hungry, which is why when we first started feeling hungry, it was extremely uncomfortable to the point where we wanted to run away because we weren't used to that. Our whole lives, we numbed ourselves with food. And we were talking about doing this video the other day, and I was saying to Kyle, like, I emotionally ate for about 20 years of my life.
And I'm a little older. I have probably 30 years. I was put on my first Slim Fast diet at age 9, and I'm 42 now. So I have like 30 years of me not being used to feeling emotions. And when you start dieting or eating less and you are a little hungry, me and Nicole have found it starts to bring up emotions. Emotions that I've never had to deal with before in the past. Nicole never had to deal with them. So me, like 30 years of numbing and pushing, suppressing and repressing emotions with the food, which is why it's so hard to eat less and to sit with that. It's not, you can be a little uncomfortable when you're hungry, but the uncomfortableness is coming up because the emotions are coming up for the first time, and you're having to deal with them and look at them without running away, without going on
using the food.
And then, people will find out the cell phone, you'll go on and numb yourself, or you go do other substances that calm your mind down, run away. But we use food primarily to numb those emotions. So when we started losing weight and eating less, all of a sudden we're dealing with this like monster of emotions that we never had to look at before. And that's the uncomfortable part that me and Nicole are still, and just finally being okay to sit with that and let them be there and just watch them and let them come up, because it all has to come up for you to get anywhere in this weight loss journey. You're just going to be going back, starting a new diet and then stopping and then going back to ground, the first step and starting over and over and over again.
Yeah, because by focusing on just that hungry piece and, not sitting with it and not recognizing, like, are you actually hungry, or is it just that you're not used to feeling this stuff? You're gonna have to keep repeating the same thing over and over again if you don't deal with the deeper piece. And like, I was saying, like Kyle said, probably 30 years of emotional eating and numbing, emotions with food, and me 20. So that first hunger pang when we started losing weight and I was no longer using food to numb, that first hunger pang was so scary because there was 20 years of me not feeling anything. I didn't know what it was like to feel something. And so when I started feeling hunger, I was freaking out. I didn't know what it was like to sit with something. I was so used to running away and hiding and numbing it with food. And if you're someone who is an emotional eater that's watching this, you might be experiencing that too, and that might be what's really, really scary. You might not used to be feeling anything, and so everything's going to be amplified and heightened, like our anxiety was heightened. You've got to be patient with yourself and buckle down and get ready to be uncomfortable, and it's not going to be comfortable.
And we're here to tell you today that that's normal. Like, me and Nicole have been through it, and we go through it currently. We're just about to start a mini cut where we are taking away food again. Yep. And even though it's a different level, it still brings up emotions that we didn't know were there. It's just deeper levels of stuff.
Yeah.
And I know, like, I've been overweight most of my life. I've lost the weight and kept it off, same as Nicole, for over 8 years or whatever. But most of my life I was overweight, and I was an expert at hiding who I was.
Me too.
And if you're watching this video and you've been overweight most of your life, you're an expert at hiding as well. But the reason why you're on our channel watching this still this deep into the video is because the hiding is getting very tiring.
Yes.
You're getting sick of hiding who you are. And that, for me, the morbid obesity, the fat suit that I was wearing was in a way in the past keeping me what I thought was protected and safe, so that when I walk in a room, there's the big guy, there's the fat guy. They immediately, assume things about me, and I was okay with them assuming that because I could hide under that, and I could, not deal with the stuff I needed to deal with too, because it was a costume for me to wear for a lot of years.
Same with me. Both of us had gone through so much trauma as kids, and we had family members who struggled with emotional eating problems as well. And we kind of then took it on in trying to deal with all of the stuff around us.
It's like we absorbed our parents' coping mechanisms, and we started, even though we knew we didn't want to do that, it's like we absorbed it and kind of started using it to cope.
and
in our own lives.
Yeah, and to try to like, I guess, gain some sort of control where we felt like we didn't have any. And then we sort of started using it to hide. The food was to numb the emotions. And then as we gained weight because of the food, the emotional eating, we were hiding, like Kyle said, in the fat suits. And, you know, I was always fluffed off too. Oh, there's Nicole, the fat girl, you know, she eats a lot, like, but I was willing to hide under that because then I didn't have to deal with the real stuff, and I could just use an excuse. Well, no one likes me, no one wants to be around me because I'm the big girl, so I just won't go out in public. I'll just be an introvert and hide and eat in my room and use it as an excuse.
And that's why we see in the world now weight loss is becoming harder.
Yeah.
Morbid obesity is becoming more common.
Yep.
Because the world, not only is it the individuals using, for me and Nicole, like we used it to hide our weight to hide, the world's also putting new pressures on you to hide who you are as an individual with the freedom of speech, with everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Is promoting that you join the big group and
Yes.
that you basically erase your individual person. You're walking on eggshells as a being and watching what you say all the time, trying not to offend anybody for everything. The world's offensive now, and that promotes hiding,
Yes.
which is the last thing that me and Nicole needed. We were already hiding, so
And like, even there's the food piece too, not just what you say, but like, you're shamed for the food you eat now too. And like, everywhere you look, you're being made to feel bad or guilty, or being made to be scared of what you're eating. People saying, oh, this is bad for you, this is terrible, this is going to give you all kinds of diseases if you eat it.
and the way the
You know?
world does it, which is always how bullies do it, is they tell you, no, I just care about your health.
Yes.
I'm looking out for your best interests, but underneath it's a control mechanism to keep the population, you know, in a certain bracket that they can control.
Yeah.
And especially for businesses, it's all about control, making you feel guilty. Your willpower, wasn't strong enough. That's why you failed. It must be your fault.
Or you just need motivation, or like, you just need to eat the right foods, and then you're just not eating the right stuff. You're eating not healthy, or not whole food, or like, always trying to get you to feel bad about who you are, and then get you to sort of turn those pieces off in yourself, and then it results in the hiding.
If you start standing up for yourself, well, first of all, once we lost weight, we get more attention in public.
Yes.
So even though that seems like before you're like, well, I'm invisible and whatever, when you lose weight, now you're seen. But then the ego freaks out because they'll actually see who you are, and maybe they'll find more faults with you. Maybe it wasn't just that you were overweight. Maybe they don't like what you say. They don't like what you wear. They don't like how you walk, how you talk, whatever it is. Before it was just Kyle's the big guy, Kyle's the fat guy, so
Yes.
that's it. It's like one thing that's wrong with me, right? When I actually have lots of things wrong with me, and when I lost the weight and I started speaking up for myself, standing up for myself, being more confident, the world comes at you, it seems like, with more things that they found wrong. So then you're like, oh no, how do I hide now?
Yeah, you nailed it, because you can't blame the weight anymore. Now it's like, okay, here we are. This is Kyle and Nicole without the fat suits on, and here we are, and we're still not accepted. There's still people have a problem with what we eat, what we ate to lose the weight, what we eat now, what we show, what we say. There's always somebody out there pointing stuff out that we're doing wrong. But that's, for everyone. It's, especially being people pleasers, because we did come from trauma. That was one thing. We were always trying to please other people. And now we're standing up for ourselves. We're standing up to our own heads, which are always trying to tell us that we're not good enough. We're also standing up to people going, oh, you shouldn't eat that. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, that's what you're saying? Oh, I don't agree with that. And we're going, wait, there's nothing wrong with us. We're good enough to be here and, be who we are and eat what we eat and do what we do and still, love ourselves. And that, it starts with the sitting with the food. It starts with the sitting with the hunger. if you can do that, you can sit with the normal hunger, you know, obviously not the like stuff we were talking about where you're actually really, really hungry all the time. If you can sit with the normal hunger of being in a calorie deficit and look at all those pieces of you that you were hiding with the food and with the blaming the being hungry, then yeah, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy, but you'll start to really let the real you shine and love yourself, and you'll start to make the decisions that you want to make instead of the things that you were doing to please other people. To sum it up, you know, we just did a calorie video, like how to calculate your calories for weight loss. You do have to be in a calorie deficit to lose the weight. And what we always say is like weight loss should not be a punishment. You need to, like, we learned that we have to do it very slow, because if you cut out calories or do things way too fast, you're not going to be able to stick to it. And we know because we did that so many times and we failed. What worked for us was small changes, being consistent with those, going very slowly, and that's how we're going to do this cut that we just started today.
And if you're eating,
Small.
if you know, like, you've got a sensible, common sense amount of calories, you're eating balanced, you're giving your body nourishment and what you need, then you find you're still a little hungry, that's okay to sit with. It's actually, me and Nicole have found it's good for us to sit with a little bit of hunger sometimes, to not run away and numb, or not eat something and numb everything. Just, it's okay, sit with it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be comfortable, but the thing with, there's this quote, like, great things never came from comfort zones. If you're not comfortable, it actually means you're changing, like, in a good way.
And it's scary. Like, if you have a group of friends or a family, they see you as that big guy, that big girl. And we found, like, when you start losing weight, you might, you're never going to please everyone, but you might actually lose some friends, but the friends you gain from it are real friends. Like, they're more quality friends, and the people that see you for the real you, not the suit you were wearing, not what you say, you know, not your opinions on things, not what you wear, not how much money you make or whatever. Those people are, you know, flash in the pan. They come and go. The people that you gain after you stand up for yourself and show who you really are and do things for you, those are the people that matter in your life. So you want to have quality friends like this one, and like you guys that have been with us for years. And quality is way more important than quantity.
Yes.
So if you're pleasing everybody because you say all the right things, do all the right things, and you're playing the role that you played from a child, maybe that's not your role anymore. It's okay to change. You will upset a lot of people either way. If you stay the same, people are not going to like what you do.
No.
If you change yourself for you, people are not going to like what you do. So, but there will be a certain amount of people that see you for who you are. And the best thing, who cares what people think? You're going to feel good about yourself and be able to have less suffering here, which is what me and Nicole ultimately try to do here, is share things that helped us get out of the suffering so that you could take a couple cherries and apply it to your life and have a better time while we're here.
Life is so short. It's really important to love what you're doing. And we always say that in the diet, but like, not hiding who you are and being you feels so much better than hiding. So life and weight loss should never be a punishment. You should really feel content and happy and proud of the life that you're living, proud of who you are. And life will feel so much better and so much less stressful when you embrace who you really are and stop worrying about what others around you think. And
you guys know which is why we don't have any collabs or whatever, but that's besides the point. But we let you guys, like, we don't expect you to walk on eggshells. We don't delete comments.
No, we want you to put what you think down below. It doesn't matter if you agree or don't agree. We love everybody that comes here. We want to help anyone that comes here, whether you like us or not. We're here to help. If you want it when you're ready, you know, we're always here.
We don't care if you don't agree with us. We don't care. We actually like the opinions. When me and Nicole watch things, like, we watch all different opinions to try to get to see both sides basically. And that's what we want to do here, is show you guys the ups and downs. Like when we make a mistake, we tell you. When we eat too little in the past, we tell you. When we eat too much, we tell you. When we find out something was bothering us that's supposed to be healthy, like spinach, we tell you guys, like, that was the culprit. Spinach and onions and garlic were really messing up our stomach, and those are supposed to be healthy. So, but for us, they weren't working. So we try to be honest and just show you guys the real weight loss journey, not a polished fake journey.
Yeah. So hopefully this helps you guys, like, see the whole picture and realize that there are two pieces to being hungry. You can go check out our channel for all the surface level pieces of how to deal with it, the real hunger, and, you know, like, focus on low cal, high volume foods and not a ton of calorie dense, because that'll use up all your calories really fast.
We also have talk videos like this where we go a little deeper. So and whatever you like. Exactly.
Whatever you like, you can watch it all. Just remember, weight loss life should never be a punishment. Do what works for you. Because if you're not having fun, you're not getting it done. If you don't like what you're doing in life and in diet and weight loss, you're not going to stick to it. And, you know, I've lost the weight with portion control. If you want to know the exact portions and exact meals that I ate to lose the weight, you can buy my weight loss ebook called The First 50. The link is down below, and code Nicole will save you 10% off. We also have Huddled. This is HTLT Steps. They have the best protein powder ever. This is maple cookie protein powder. Oh my gosh, it is so good. It's really good in flavoring plain Greek yogurt. We love it for that, but it's good in everything.
I love this in, like, especially in the fall, which it is now. I love it in oatmeal with some sugar-free syrup. It just gives me that fall warm bowl of goodness.
Protein pancakes too, it's really good in everything. Code Nicole will save you 10%, and the link for this is down below as well. Watch this vid and this vid for more fun, sustainable weight loss tips. Also for deeper vids too, on how to make weight loss fun, not be a punishment, and for real people losing weight in the real world, for sustainable weight loss that you can love every day what you're doing.
If we just fixed the outside, it wouldn't matter, because the inside would still be a mess. And it's what me and Nicole found. We thought the journey was, let's fix the outside, let's lose the weight, let's get to a certain number on the scale, and everything will be perfect. Well, that's only one side of it, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful, Kyle. Like, that's just the start. The losing the weight was the beginning, and now the sitting with the hunger is the deeper piece. Sitting with it, sitting with who you are, sitting with being hungry, being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's how you change. So hopefully you enjoyed this vid. Thanks so much for watching, Sass, and I really appreciate your support. We love you, and we'll check you in the next vid. Cute-a-rooney. Peace it. Peace it. Peace it.
Peace.
Love you. Remember, the friends, that weight loss isn't just about the number on the scale. It's also about here and here. Heart and mindset. Fight through it. You can do it. Don't give up.